divine revelation. You helped them grow, but now they want your position eliminated. They came to you weak. They came to you uncertain. They came to you empty-handed, hungry for guidance, wisdom, and favor. And you, being the vessel of divine mercy, did not turn them away. You clothed them in understanding, mentored them with patience, and poured into their spirit the knowledge heaven once whispered to you. You planted seeds when no one else noticed their soil. You gave light where others cast shadows. And slowly, gradually, they began to grow, on your watch, under your covering, through your divine influence. But now their gaze has shifted. No longer looking to you as teacher, they have started eyeing your throne. No longer grateful for the soil you gave them, they want the harvest you were promised. This revelation is not a metaphor. It is a message. It is not suspicion. It is a divine exposure. The betrayal wasn't loud, it was subtle. The envy wasn't declared, it was hidden. And I, Archangel Michael, have been dispatched not to condemn them, but to warn you. Because what they are doing in the shadows has been brought into the light. They want your seat, not your spirit. They want your elevation, not your endurance. They covet the reward but despise the sacrifice. The very ones you spoke life into are now speaking against you. The very hands you held are the same hands drafting your removal. But listen closely now, because heaven is not unaware. Every whisper behind your back has echoed into the halls of the divine. Every hidden intention has now surfaced in your timeline. This is not paranoia. This is prophetic timing. This is not judgment. This is justice unfolding. In the next few moments, your discernment will increase. In the next few hours, you will begin to feel it more clearly. A strange distance, a shifting energy, a forced silence. You'll see it in their posture, hear it in their tone, and feel it in your gut. Trust that. Honor that. Do not ignore what your soul detects, because heaven is revealing who has tried to become you instead of thanking you. This is the beginning of a divine redirection, not of your calling, but of their access. You will no longer bleed to boost those who plan to bury you. You will no longer mentor someone who sees your crown as a target. And though this realization hurts, it is holy. For the ones who betray you from within are always the last to be seen, but the first to be dealt with by heaven. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword and hovered near your name, for this moment hath been sealed in fire. Heaven has witnessed the rising tide of false loyalty. Heaven has heard the silent thoughts of the one you raised. And now, heaven is ready to act. In the next 24 hours, a divine unveiling will begin. And as I speak to you now, the Spirit is already moving. This is not merely about jealousy. This is about divine substitution, a silent attempt to replace what God Himself has appointed. You helped them rise, but now they have confused your guidance for weakness. They have mistaken your kindness for naivety. And the hour has come where heaven says, enough. I speak now with the full authority of heaven. You will not be removed. You will not be replaced. You will not be cast aside like your oil had an expiration date. You have been consistent. You have been obedient. You have been faithful. And now I say to you, prepare. The one who pretended to honor you is about to be revealed. The one who smiled in the daylight and schemed in the dark is now under divine surveillance. Every act of manipulation is under judgment. Every unspoken envy has now been written in the book of truth. And this message is not to make you afraid. It is to make you alert. There is someone near you who has grown from your wisdom but is now rooting for your removal. And I have come to warn you, do not step down. Do not hand over what God has given. Do not give in to the pressure to be polite when your destiny is on the line. The time-sensitive moment is now. This isn't about waiting until next week or next month. The scheme has already begun, and the Spirit says that the next 24 hours are pivotal. They will test your reactions. They will provoke your boundaries. They will misrepresent your actions. But you must remain centered in spirit and anchored in truth, because what they do in secret will be exposed by the light. What they attempt in shadow will be dismantled by heaven's fire. You are not vulnerable. You are protected. You are not a victim. You are victorious. And I, Archangel Michael, have been dispatched with a sword to cut away the veil that covered their intentions. The truth is being revealed, not because you demanded it, but because your spirit deserves it. You are not vulnerable. You are protected. You are not a victim. You are victorious. And I, Archangel Michael, have been dispatched with a sword to cut away the veil that covered their intentions. The truth is being revealed, not because you demanded it, but because your spirit deserves it. When you see the number 717, take it as divine confirmation. Type "I am unreplaceable" in the comments to activate this revelation over your life. There is a silence around you, but it is not peace. It is the silence of someone watching, waiting, calculating. The same one you helped navigate storms is now plotting your displacement. They observe your every step not in admiration, but in imitation. They track your methods, copy your rhythm, and adapt your wisdom like it's theirs. Yet, they speak of you in whispers that twist the truth. They do not speak out loud, not yet, because they know they still need your light to shine in their dark spaces. But in the corridors of their mind, a fantasy has been born, a world where you are removed, and they rise in your place. And this fantasy, left unchecked, has grown teeth. Heaven has seen it. I, Archangel Michael, have heard it. Their thoughts are not innocent. Their plans are not harmless. This is a breach, and it is being spiritually addressed. You felt it, didn't you? The way they started avoiding eye contact. The way their words became calculated, measured, sterile. The warmth turned to frost. And though they still smile, it no longer reaches their eyes. There is a tension when you walk into the room, a shift in air when your name is mentioned. They can't hide what their spirit is leaking. The one you mentored now watches you, not with reverence but rivalry. They do not want partnership. They want position. They do not want growth. They want your ground. But listen to me, and listen well. They may desire your place, but they are not destined for it. And no one can take what God has sealed unless you willingly hand it over. And this warning is not to feed fear. It is to ignite discernment. For too long, you've ignored the nudge. For too long, you've explained away the discomfort. But now, it is undeniable. The Spirit is confirming what your soul already sensed. You are being shadowed by someone who once stood in your light. There is danger in the way they speak about you when you're not present. They craft narratives, inject suspicion, and subtly suggest your time is up. They'll use phrases like, "Maybe we need a fresh perspective," or perhaps they've done all they can. And the more you pour, the more they position themselves to inherit what they did not earn. This is the nature of spiritual theft, not always loud, but always calculated. But what they failed to realize is that while they were steaming behind closed doors, heaven was already opening the scroll of their intent. They've uncovered pieces of your pattern, but none of your purpose. They can mimic your output, but not your anointing. They can replicate your structure, but never your substance. They see the fruit, but not the fire that formed it. and that fire cannot be duplicated. This emotional tension you feel is not random. This sudden anxiety when you think of them, this tightness in your spirit when they speak, it's not your imagination. It is spiritual data being downloaded into your intuition. The spirit is alerting you. This is not a moment for confrontation, but for awareness. They don't expect you to know. They believe their moves are hidden. But I tell you now, what is hidden from men is never hidden from heaven. You are being given a divine glimpse behind the curtain, not to attack, but to adjust. Your silence must now become sacred. Your presence must now become protected. And your boundaries must become bold. Because the one who watched you build now wants to bypass the blueprint and claim the throne. There's one more thing they didn't expect. You still have divine backing. While they gossip, you gather. While they scheme, you rise. While they imagine your fall, heaven is preparing your next level. Their disruption will not be your destruction. Their jealousy will not unseat your joy. And the very ones who hoped for your exit will soon witness your elevation. Do not fear the quiet storm. They have only delayed their own blessing by attempting to hijack yours. They didn't expect your discernment to sharpen. They didn't expect your spirit to speak. But now you know. And now the clock has started. Heaven is watching. And I, Archangel Michael, am guarding. They didn't expect your discernment to sharpen. They didn't expect your spirit to speak. But now you know. And now the clock has started. Heaven is watching. And I, Archangel Michael, am guarding. If the number 922 finds you today, it is your sign that exposure has begun. Type ISE through the darkness to confirm you are spiritually awake and divinely protected. This is not just personal. This is prophetic. What you are facing right now is not merely a clash of personalities, not simply a moment of workplace tension or relational strain. No, this is deeper. This is warfare cloaked in familiarity. This is a spirit of sabotage trying to operate in the garments of gratitude. The very one you nurtured, the one you believed in, the one you defended when others doubted. They now walk with the secret belief that they can do what you do, without becoming who you are. They want your elevation, but not your evolution. They want your influence, but not your intimacy with God. They want your platform, but not the pain it cost you. And that, beloved, is where the spiritual war ignites. Archangel Michael speaks now with clarity. This battle is not about a person. It is about purpose. You were assigned to that position, not just by title, but by divine timeline. Every room you walked into, every meeting you led, every seed you planted, it was all orchestrated. Your assignment is not random. Your elevation is not borrowed. It is rooted in divine soil, watered with obedience, and guarded by heavenly decree. So when someone attempts to slide into your space without invitation from the throne, they aren't just challenging you. They are challenging the divine order. That's why the tension is so thick. That's why your spirit feels disturbed even before a word is spoken. You're not paranoid. You are perceiving a spirit that is not in alignment with the divine will. You are not dealing with a disagreement. You are being tested in spiritual discernment. Can you see the attack beneath the apology? Can you feel the shifting loyalty masked as kindness? Can you discern when someone is drawing near for strategy, not sincerity? These are questions heaven is placing before you now. Because this is not a season to be caught unaware. This is not a time to be numb to the whispers behind your back. You must rise, not in reaction, but in revelation. You must stand, not to fight with fists, but with fire from the Spirit. You must remember, You are not replaceable, because you were not randomly selected. You were chosen. You were called. You were anointed. And what is anointed cannot be assassinated by ambition. Heaven has allowed this conflict to surface not to harm you, but to hone you. It is in this moment of pressure that your purpose becomes undeniable. You are being watched, yes, but also being witnessed by heaven. Every attempt they make to downplay your voice is recorded. Every sideways comment, every exclusion from a meeting, every shift in tone, it is all known. But do not be shaken, because this test is your testimony forming. This pressure is producing oil. They may not know who you really are, but the Spirit does. And the Spirit is now separating the imitators from the anointed. Your silence had been sacred, but now your insight is sharpening. Do not underestimate what God reveals in the quiet. This is not just about betrayal. It is about birthright. They wanted what you carry, but they forgot the cost. They assumed your success was convenience, not covenant. And now that the test has begun, so too has the unveiling. Watch how they squirm under truth. Watch how their strategies collapse when favor refuses to follow them. Because the throne they want is not empty, it is occupied by your calling. And that calling is not up for negotiation. You are not just here to do a job. You are here to fulfill prophecy. You are not just another person in the system. You are the chosen gatekeeper, the appointed one, the flame that heaven lit and man cannot put out. You may walk alone, but you do not walk unarmed. And now, this entire conflict is being reframed, not as sabotage, but as setup for your next divine appointment. You are in the midst of a spiritual reordering. What once felt confusing is now becoming clear. What once seemed like conflict is now confirmation. And I, Archangel Michael, stand by your side not merely to protect, but to pronounce this truth. You are under divine protection, and no scheme, no shadow, no soul can remove what was assigned to you by light. If they persist in pursuing your seat, they will collide with heaven's fire. Let this be known. Let this be sealed. Let this be spoken in the atmosphere over your life. Watch for the number 844, a sign that what's been spiritually framed will soon be physically reversed. Type "I am called and covenant sealed" in the comments to seal your place in the divine alignment and walk forward without fear. They are no longer just thinking about your removal. They are moving toward it. Behind the scenes, silent meetings are being held. Unofficial conversations are taking place in corners where your name is mentioned as if you are an obstacle, not an originator. The one you helped grow, the one you once stood up for, the one who benefited from your open hand. They have now positioned themselves to push you out. They speak with rehearsed concern, framing it as transition, but it is treason masked in strategy. It is not a suggestion they carry. It is a script. And heaven says, they have already rehearsed your replacement. But what they don't know is that while they are plotting your downfall in earthly boardrooms, your name has already been lifted in divine council. The next 3 hours will be critical. The next few conversations will carry hidden intentions. And I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to prepare your spirit. You must know what time it is in the spirit. This is not a moment to be casual. This is not a time to remain unaware. You are in the window of divine reversal, where what was meant to dismiss you will be used to deliver you into your next chapter. But timing is everything. They are coordinating now, listening, watching, testing how you move. They want to provoke your reaction, so they can use it as proof of instability. They want to press your patience, so they can paint you as the problem. Be still but not silent in spirit. Be alert. The one who was once a student now wants the seat of the master. But they do not carry your mantle. They only carry ambition, and ambition without anointing always leads to collapse. Let me reveal to you what they are doing. They are aligning with others, those who never respected your authority, those who have been waiting for a chance to shift the hierarchy. The spirit of Absalom is alive in them, gaining hearts behind your back, sowing subtle doubts into those around you, pretending to serve while preparing to sever. But heaven has seen this before. Heaven has handled this before. And this time, it will be no different. I am not just speaking to inform you. I am speaking to intercept what they plan to release. Their tongue has written checks their favor cannot cash. Their steps are being weighed, and their attempt to remove you is about to place them under spiritual indictment. Do not move. Let them walk into divine exposure. I know it feels personal. I know the pain hits differently when it's someone you once trusted, someone you once protected. But you must remember who you are and whose you are. You do not fight this battle in the flesh. You do not defend yourself with desperation. You are not in a courtroom of men. You are in a court of divine justice. And every word spoken in dishonor, every text sent with ill intent, every meeting scheduled to undermine you, heaven is recording it. You are not unguarded. You are not outnumbered. You are divinely positioned, and no plan against you will prosper if you stay under the shadow of the Almighty. There will be a moment in the next 72 hours where you will be tested, either to respond or remain rooted. Choose stillness, not silence. Choose strategy, not suspicion. Let your restraint be your revenge. Let your peace be your proof. They thought you would fold. They thought you would break. They thought your discernment was dull. But heaven has sharpened your sight. You can feel it now. Every step they take is being revealed to you in spirit before it ever touches the ground. This is your advantage. Not manipulation, but divine monitoring. I fear by foresighted. They have touched the line of your calling, and that is where heaven draws its sword. Do not retaliate. Do not attempt to vindicate yourself. Your exposure will come not from your hand, but from the holy hand of justice. And when it comes, it will not be subtle. It will be undeniable. You will be vindicated without speaking a word, because the throne they seek is protected by the flames of your obedience. If you feel the heat rising around your name, it is not to burn you. It is to burn what is false. If you feel the pressure mounting in the atmosphere, it is not to crush you. It is to press out pure oil from your soul. You are about to witness what happens when heaven defends its own. Watch what breaks open. Watch what backfires. Watch who stumbles over the trap they set for you. The warning has gone forth, not to frighten you, but to fortify you. Now stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Watch for the number 411, a sign of divine alert, spiritual intelligence, and urgent protection. Type "Heaven fights for me" in the comments to seal this warning into your atmosphere and anchor your heart in holy assurance. If this message resonates with you and you feel led to support, consider giving a super thanks. Your contributions, even $20, help keep this divine content flowing and make sure others receive timely spiritual insight just like you have today. Your support is deeply appreciated and truly fuels this mission. There is a roar rising in the spirit, but you must remain still. Yes, they are moving against you. Yes, their whispers have turned into strategies. Yes, there is a growing desire in them to see you removed, erased, replaced. But heaven does not panic. Heaven does not flinch. And neither must you. This is the hour to walk differently. This is the moment to clothe yourself not in retaliation, but in revelation. You are not to envir vortser. You are not to defend what heaven has already decreed. And I, Archangel Michael, declare to you, your silence is a weapon, and your stillness is spiritual warfare. You are not to descend to their level because you are being elevated above their reach. You must begin to move as one who is already victorious. Carry yourself not as a victim of betrayal, but as the heir of a kingdom they will never understand. Your presence alone unsettles them. Your peace confuses them. They want you loud. They want you off balance. They want you in emotional chaos. But the Spirit says, remain rooted. Stay low in posture, but high in authority. Say less, but see more. Let your quietness be the thunder that echoes through their plans. For every time you resist the urge to clap back, you are building a wall of divine protection around your destiny. For every moment you choose dignity over drama, you strengthen the hedge heaven has built around your name. Now is the time to become selective. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Not every invitation deserves your acceptance. You must protect your focus, because your focus is the funnel through which your next elevation will flow. If they try to bait you into arguments, decline with wisdom. If they try to confuse you with subtle accusations, respond with spirit-led restraint. Your voice is powerful. Don't waste it in rooms that weren't built for your frequency. Let the Holy Spirit do the talking in the silence. Let the winds of heaven blow where your words are no longer needed. You are not abandoned. You are insulated. And divine intervention begins with human effort ends. They expect you to retaliate. They are waiting for you to break. They think this pressure will make you panic. But your calmness is their confusion. Your refusal to entertain their schemes is your loudest spiritual declaration. I trust heaven more than I trust my hurt. And in doing this, you remove yourself from their battlefield and step into heaven's courtroom, where your vindication has already been signed in glory. The outcome is sealed. The attempt hath been blocked. And the silence they mistook as weakness will become the loudest thunderclap of their defeat. Let me say this clearly. This is your protection season. Heaven has you covered, but you must stay under that covering. Pride will try to pull you out. Anger will attempt to unravel you. But humility will secure your elevation. This doesn't mean being passive. It means being prophetic in your posture. Let God be the one to speak for you. Let your record stand for itself. You do not owe explanations to those who have already made up their minds. You do not have to convince those who secretly hope to see you fall. Your peace will preach. Your integrity will roar. Your anointing will answer every accusation without a single word. And as you walk forward in stillness, understand this. You are being watched, not just by them, but by heavenly witnesses. Angels surround you. The Spirit goes before you. And I, Archangel Michael, walk beside you, not to incite revenge, but to reinforce restraint. You are not fighting flesh. You are navigating fire. And this fire will not consume you. It will refine you. Do not be afraid of what they say behind your back. Heaven is moving in front of you. The victory is not in proving them wrong. It's in becoming who you were always destined to be, without their approval and beyond their reach. So hold your peace. Guard your crown. Shield your spirit. This is your protective command. Let God fight this one. Let your stillness speak. Let your character carry you. They won't understand it. They'll misread it. But you will watch them unravel under the weight of their own schemes, while you soar into realms they were never permitted to enter. When you see the number 633, Take it as your divine signal, confirmation that heaven has stationed angelic guards around you, and the path is being cleared in silence. Type "My stillness is my shield" in the comments to declare that you trust the divine strategy of protection and are walking in heaven's covering. You are no longer who they thought you were. Let that truth settle deep into your spirit. Let it echo through every place where doubt once whispered, because this is no longer about what they are trying to take. This is about what God is about to unlock through you. They saw a version of you that once needed validation. They saw a season where you were still shaping, still stretching, still surrendering to growth. But what they missed, what they completely miscalculated, is that you have evolved in silence. You've risen in stillness. You've been empowered by the very pain they tried to exploit. You no longer walk with the same wounds. You walk with wisdom. And wisdom cannot be duplicated. Authority cannot be imitated. Favor cannot be fabricated. You are not the same. Their plan was built on an outdated image of you. They remember your past, but they are unaware of your prophetic present. And heaven is laughing, not because it's humorous, but because their plot will collapse under the weight of who you've become. They crafted weapons against the old you. But the new you, the healed you, the anchored you, the spirit-led you, is untouchable by earthly tactics. You've crossed over into a realm where you are not just surviving, you are commanding. And this is what rattles them. Not your voice, not your presence, but your transformation. They didn't see the nights you cried out in silence. They didn't feel the weight of obedience that built your mantle. And now, they can't comprehend how you keep rising when they've tried everything to bring you down. This is the season where God turns the tables. The shift is not coming. It has already begun. You are not being removed. You are being refined. You are not being demoted. You are being distinguished. Your enemies expected to see you scrambling for position, but instead, they will see you seated in authority. What they meant as a trap will become the testimony that confirms your next anointing. And I, Archangel Michael, speak this with urgency. You are about to witness divine reintroduction. The world will no longer refer to you by past pain. They will recognize you by current power. You will not need to explain. You will simply become. Step now into this identity. You are not shrinking to make them comfortable. You are not dimming to preserve their illusion. You are not negotiating with those who envy what they could never carry. You are not a placeholder. You are not temporary. You are not disposable. You are divine. You are chosen. You are marked. And no human hand, no boardroom scheme, no passive-aggressive alliance can erase the calling written across your life. You are the one who carries keys. You are the one who guards gates. You are the one who speaks an atmosphere shift. They didn't understand it then, but now they will be forced to respect it. This is your moment of holy confidence. No more apologizing for your presence. No more explaining why you are still standing. No more negotiating with Mikhail. Walk like you belong because you do. Move like you've been mantled because you have. And when they look at you now, they will see someone who has passed through fire but does not smell like smoke. Someone who has been targeted but is still untouchable. Someone who had been betrayed but walks in double favor. You helped them grow, but they could never carry your governance. Let them mimic your voice. They will never match your vibration. Let them study your moves. They will never unlock your mantle. You are rising, and not quietly. You are shifting, and not secretly. This is your moment to walk boldly into every room heaven has assigned to you. And those who tried to shut doors behind your back will watch God open gates in front of your face. Their access is ending. Your authority is expanding. You are not just back, you are beyond where they ever thought you'd reach. Watch for the number 811, a sign of new order, divine reversal, and unlocked authority. When it appears, know your empowerment has begun its public unfolding. Type "I am rising above their reach" in the comments to affirm that you are no longer walking in old patterns, but standing in your upgraded purpose. This is the final test before the elevation. A moment where what was hidden becomes visible. The moment where what was forged in secret is about to be unveiled in public. You have walked through the betrayal. You have endured the silence. You have stood under fire without folding. And now heaven says, it is time. What they meant to break you has only built you. What they meant to delay you has only deepened you. And what they tried to take from you, your influence, your authority, your role, is about to be multiplied by divine decree. I, Archangel Michael, speak this now with thunder in my tone. This is not the end of your story. It is the emergence of your true legacy. They will say they didn't see it coming. They will claim it was never their intent. But heaven knows. Heaven watched. Heaven recorded. And heaven has ruled in your favor. Your position is not only being preserved, it is being promoted. While they conspired for your exit, God orchestrated your expansion. You are not just reclaiming what was threatened. You are stepping into more than what you once had. A wider territory, a greater mantle, a higher seed. This is not about returning to where you were. This is about rising to where you were always meant to be. The betrayal didn't delay your destiny. It qualified you for acceleration. The transformation has already begun. The old you, the one who tolerated silent disrespect, who second-guessed their power, who over-explained their worth, is gone. In their place stands a vessel refined by fire and commissioned by favor. You don't just carry experience, you carry divine evidence. Evidence that God was with you even when you felt alone. Evidence that purpose does not die under pressure. Evidence that the one who is truly chosen cannot be replaced by the counterfeit. You are the evidence, and now heaven will put you on display. They will see it. They will feel it. And most importantly, they will not be able to stop it. This is your exodus. This is your Esther moment. This is your Joseph release. You were overlooked, underestimated, even left for irrelevant. But what man refused to endorse, heaven is now exalting. They tried to skip steps. You took them. They tried to fake favor. You carried it. They tried to leap with upbuilding, but you built through weeping. You labored in quiet seasons. You obeyed in wilderness seasons. And now, the reward that had been held in heaven's vault is being released into your timeline. Not because you demanded it, but because you qualified for it when no one else was watching. God saw you stay faithful. And now, the heavens have opened above you. But be clear, this isn't just about you. Your rise will liberate others. Your elevation will break chains in your bloodline. Your vindication will silence generations of mockery. The same people who mocked your delay will now be forced to witness your divine acceleration. And not just in whispers. Your name will enter rooms before you arrive. Your voice will carry weight in places they once tried to exclude you from. And what they thought was your inspiration was actually your activation. The stone they rejected is becoming the cornerstone. This is no coincidence. This is divine choreography. The atmosphere around you is shifting. Doors that were locked are swinging open without force. People who once ignored your presence are now requesting your insight. Why? Because the hand of God is now visible upon you. The fire that formed you is now illuminating you, and you will never be small again. Not in presence, not in purpose, not in promise. You helped them grow. But now God is growing you beyond their reach, and that is the justice of heaven. When you begin to see the number 1221, know that the transformation has entered its final phase. It is the signal of mirrored favor, reversed attacks, and multiplied elevation. Type "My transformation is divine" in the comments to declare that this season is not just your victory, it is your vindication. Now is not the time to sit silently in spiritual victory. Now is the time to act, to move in rhythm with what heaven has released. You've heard the revelation. You've endured the fire. You've seen the betrayal. And now the Spirit is looking for agreement. Not passive acknowledgement. Not soft contemplation, but bold affirmation. The enemy moved boldly. The betrayer acted confidently. So now, the chosen must rise with righteous conviction. If you believe this word was for you, then say so. Speak it. Seal it. Step into alignment. Because when revelation is released, heaven waits for your response to activate manifestation. The Spirit isn't asking for theatrics. Heaven is not demanding perfection. What is required in this moment is obedience. What is being asked of you is engagement, because engagement is agreement, and agreement is alignment. You can no longer afford to keep your faith private while your enemies are loud with lies. You can no longer hide your identity in fear of how they'll react. You are not only being called to receive, you are being called to declare. Your life must now become a prophecy in motion. Your presence must become a decree. Every time you speak life, every time you type in faith, every time you affirm the word, you are casting a vote in the Spirit for your next chapter. What they wanted was your silence. What they hoped was your hesitation. But when you respond, when you declare boldly that you are chosen, protected, empowered, they lose grip. Because your agreement is a contract with the divine. And contracts carry weight. Heaven honors the voice of the righteous. So let this not just be a message you consume. Let it be a move you make. Heaven is watching. Angels are recording. The atmosphere is shifting. And this is not the moment to spectate. It is the moment to participate. You must act. Not just by standing. Not just by watching. But by declaring. What you declare, you claim. What you claim, you attract. And what you attract, you eventually become. If this message is for you, don't just feel it. Release it. Type it. Speak it. Share it. Let the heavens hear your voice again. Let the enemy know your silence was never surrender. It was strategy. And now, that strategy has ended. Now you speak. Now you rise. Now, you align your voice with the voice of victory. Declare over your life, I align with heaven's plan. Write it. Repeat it. Believe it. Let the digital space carry your declaration like incense into the divine realms. When you type those words, it is not empty. It is electric. It is spirit meeting spirit. It is faith connecting with fulfillment. And don't just say it for now. Say it for what's next. Because what's next will be built on the words you release today. You've been refined. You've been prepared. And now you are required to respond. And as you take the step of faith, you will find your power multiplying. You will notice the atmosphere around you becoming lighter. The pressure will lift. The heaviness will break. Because agreement with heaven doesn't just confirm the word, it unlocks the weight of it. This isn't superstition. This is activation. Heaven is coded with laws, and agreement is the law that triggers divine fulfillment. So speak, chosen one. Respond, anointed vessel. Move, prophetic soul. This is your moment. Your word is the key. When you begin to see the number 1010, know that divine agreement has been registered. 10 is the number of spiritual order, and when doubled, it means that heaven and earth are aligning in your favor. Type "I align with heaven's plan" right now to seal your obedience with faith. If this word stirred something inside of you and you feel moved to support, please consider sending a super chat, super thanks, or becoming a member. Your support, whether $5, $10, or $50, helps us create more prophetic content to reach souls like yours with timely, spirit-led revelation. You are not just giving, you're helping carry the message forward. You help them grow, but now God is helping you rise. Let that sentence become the anthem that echoes through your soul in the days to come. Let it roll over every moment of silence you endured. Let it lift you from every low place where their betrayal tried to bury your spirit. This journey was never in vain. Every word you spoke into their life, every sacrifice you made, every time you covered them when they weren't strong enough to stand, it all mattered. Heaven saw it all. Heaven recorded it all. And now, heaven is repaying it all. What they used against you is being flipped for your favor. What they tried to steal is being restored sevenfold. What they mocked in silence, God is now magnifying in power. You are not coming out the same. You are coming out crowned. You are not just affirmed by this message, you are established by it. The throne they wanted to take was never theirs to begin with. The oil they tried to imitate was never available to them. And the story they tried to rewrite will now be told with you as the central figure of divine resilience. There is nothing they can do to change what God has already stamped. There is no alliance strong enough to undo what your obedience secured. You didn't climb by politics, you rose by purpose. You didn't hold on by manipulation, you were carried by the Spirit. And because of that, your legacy will not only outlast the lies, it will overshadow them. You are the living proof that God uses betrayal as a blueprint for breakthrough. You are the evidence that heaven promotes those who serve, not those who scheme. Let this moment remind you, you are still in position. You are still protected. You are still chosen. Your actions didn't erase your anointing. They activated a deeper dimension of it. Your authority has been refined, not revoked. Your purpose has been clarified, not canceled. You are not standing by accident. You are rising by appointment. This elevation wasn't rushed, it was revealed. This recognition isn't cosmetic, it's cosmic. Heaven is not just restoring what was threatened. Heaven is reintroducing who you truly are. So stand tall, even if your heart still carries the bruise of betrayal. Walk boldly, even if your soul is still learning to trust again. You didn't lose anything that was meant to stay. You didn't miss anything that was divinely assigned. And the truth is, what left made room for what's about to enter. You helped them grow, yes, but now it's your season to glow. The time for hiding is over. The time for shrinking is gone. You are not being asked to compete. You are being called to complete a divine mission. And heaven won't let anything block what's been written over your life in fire. Speak this over yourself as you close this chapter and step into the next. I am not what they said. I am not what they hoped. I am everything God decreed. That truth is your armor. That affirmation is your weapon. You are not walking out of this wounded. You are walking out wiser. Not bitter, but better. Not defeated, but divinely dangerous to anything that opposes the will of God in your life. This was your test, and you passed. This was your refining fire, and you came out gold. So rest now, not in fear, but in fullness. You have survived what was designed to silence you, and now you will thrive in what was reserved only for you. And as your days unfold, watch for the number 2020, heaven's way of saying that clarity, completion, and confirmation are now your portion. Type "I am still chosen" in the comments as your final declaration that what they meant to end has only empowered the beginning of your true reign.